do this thing. So, I decided to test out a couple of ideas since earlier, and, well, okay, kind of a mixed bag of results. So first of all, the ninja with an SMG approach, I think that can work, but not yet. It seems like we keep running that into that in a lot of places here, but yeah. So basically, that was the staff plus augmented ninja summon things, basically just running around burst firing stuff. It can work. Based on the numbers that I've seen, I would assume they can probably put out like, give or take 450 in overall damage if spec'd for it. Especially if we go the dark route, because I believe those ones actually do more. So that one would be fantastic, but yeah, not yet. As it stands, we only have the first tier of those available. We're very close to getting the second tier. I mean, I know it's around here, but, you know, I haven't quite gotten there yet. Second thing, I tried going with this build. The result was, well, about as you'd expect, kind of like a mixed bag of just praying to RNGesus, more or less. So there's that. So we'll give that another go here. I'm thinking at this point the best bet is to just say screw it to the Fusilier book. Mostly what we get out of it is to get access to the fortress behind it. So here's kind of my thought process on this. So Fusilier book, all well and good. Main thing that we get out of it is going to be gunblades and Fusiliers. So theoretically, this would put us back on track to a route from months ago, just basically going the gunblade approach, but unfortunately now gunblades are a Fusilier thing instead of a Buccaneer thing. Wait, what? When did I... Oh, right, because we did his fights. Right, so one approach would potentially be to go back for the Buccaneer, seeing as all of that stuff has changed now, so maybe worth taking a look at that. At this point, I would say Warlock is a fitting replacement for the White Knight. I'm saving the White Knight for cases where it's really, really, really needed. Because, yeah, it's actually only a 4-vit difference between the Warlock and the... Wait, does Warlock actually have higher natural vit than the White Knight? Interesting. Alright. Fair enough. Well, I mean, I guess they don't really get heavy armor, so sure, why not? Anyway. So that might be one approach. If we go for Buccaneer, that would help a lot in terms of dealing with finishers. Would potentially give us some other stuff to play around with. I don't know what else they have at this point. I believe they've got some trick moves that we might be able to make use of. So yeah, in terms of overall evasion and like one-on-one, you know, going all out for stylish fighting and whatever else, that would be the one to go for. It's a bit difficult to go for, but it's like 4 or 5 fights that we have to get through. That all being said, I think just going for Grimsby here is probably going to be the best bet. So we're going to just run the same ninja setup, just to show you kind of what we're looking at here. And then we're probably going to go at it with the Warlock build. It's still not ideal, but oh well. So we need the fortress underneath it. So after this fight, all of the bandits all around the map will suddenly spawn in all the forts. So after we clear those out, which actually should be fairly easy to do, I'd hope. There's definitely going to be some trickery involved, but as far as just building up to go take out one unit, I think we can do that. So here's what the original plan was with this build. Because originally I was thinking, you know, we just go harass a particular unit, take them out, and move elsewhere. So when I tried to go for the ones on the left side, generally what I found was that it just resulted in Lindell getting killed very quickly, and, well, not much else. Usually wasn't able to finish them off as quickly as I'd like. I feel like at 25 is going to be the better version of that, because once we can start getting some better, like, augment scaling weapons and stuff like that, we can get a little bit more going. I don't have any matching elements or whatever else for dual wielding, so that's potentially something to look into down the road. But yeah, I don't think, after testing this, I'm not sure the ninja approach will work for this anyway, simply because being able to withstand these guys is the best way to actually handle them. Being able to dodge all of them is just unrealistic because there's too many. Yeah, it would basically be a 1 in a million shot to be able to pull this off with just this setup, but oh well. It's like right there, first 40% hits, that attempt is already screwed, because they would functionally need to be able to dodge over and over and over and over and over and over and over, completely ad nauseum. So So even if we end up critting every single thing, we still wouldn't be able to take out any of the heavies right off the bat, but that's not the goal here. The goal is actually to run, take a wild hunt, and then go deal with the casters and healers in the back. So once you get to this point, if Lindell survives, then you have a couple rounds to at least deal with one of them. If there's enough crits, and if RNG's nice to you, there's a chance. When I was testing it, there was a possibility to take out one of them. When it came to anything else, well, not so much. So we'll see how that goes. So at best, this might result in taking out one healer, one caster, if RNG is amazing. And if it's not, well, he's dead. So there we go. Every single 40% hit. Who are we kidding? Of course that's going to happen. So even with the White Knight here, I don't think we'd be able to completely just avoid all the damage here. So the main way to get past this one, since we're already outskilling them to our maximum here, they're already going to scale up to our level, so we can't out-level them, but we can out-gear them. So potentially one other option might be Palace of the Dead here, which is funny because Palace of the Dead revolves around getting past this spot. I know, it's going completely roundabout in every possible frickin' direction. That's okay, though. That's okay, because there's potentially other stuff that we could cheese. You know what? This game's amazing, I just want to say. There's just so many routes to go through everything. I love it. Potentially one route that we might go here kind of comes down to what's actually allowed in the run at this point. Because since a lot of stuff has been updated since I started this run, I feel perfectly safe in saying, you know what, I don't think bow cheese is even possible, so I really wouldn't say that it's something that should be banned. But yeah, that's just kind of out there for the hell of it. Okay, there we go. So we can one-shot them. That's all well and good. Can we Tyrannico anyone? Not really. So if we do something like this and essentially just wild hunt around the map, then we could kind of just play this like Twisted Metal, I guess. You can just do one quick hit and run and bail. So if we could get Martim in a fight down here, then we'd be able to take him out. Then, since we're time-traveling around later anyway, we could come back for the Fusilier book. Again, we don't really need Fusilier marks. We don't really need... Oh, I hope you aren't playing Sweet Tooth. I mean, I forget if we took Law route. It's possible. I mean, you get a sweet mech later, so that's pretty nice. But anyway, if we can maybe lure him into a blocked-off fight over here, I feel like this particular spot might potentially be cheesable. Because a lot of their ranged units can't actually get over to that particular location. They'd just kind of be stuck on the left. And if we could potentially phalanx it off and just isolate them, it might be worth attempting to go Knight here. Something to consider. Like, White Knight would be better, but we only have one of those. Let's see. Who else has barricades at this point? I think it's just Knight that has phalanxes. The only other one that has actual barricades is going to be the... what the hell? Words are not working today, apparently, but Fusilier. There we go. That one with the words and the things and the thinkings, and... Oh, wow, that does nothing to him. Okay. Dandy dandy. Alright, so here's what we do. We get a... We just turn on a decoy here. We're going to go ahead and Tyrannico this guy. And then ideally we can get Martim running up in front of us. Unfortunately, yeah, the guy did not get knocked out. Doesn't matter. There we go. So all we need to do is knock him into critical. If this works, I'll be incredibly surprised. But yeah, it could potentially work. It just requires getting a hell of a lot of crits and basically never moving and being luckier than anyone's ever been. So, you know, perfectly reasonable there. Actually, that got really lucky because that guy just dropped a barricade on the only possible route for anyone to get down here from the ranged units. So I'm actually really glad that the double tile range situation is going on with barricades these days, because Fusiliers tend to screw themselves all the time. It's great. Which, yeah, they used to do that in vanilla too, but it used to take twice as long. And usually would just result in this bizarre formation where they just got crap laying around all over the map. You know, see any attempt at Palace of the Dead with pumpkins absolutely everywhere. Alright, so we're still within range for that, so not ideal. Alright. He's gonna parry, that sucks. So yeah, if we just knock his back up unconscious, maybe there's a possibility here. Torinico actually doesn't have vertical range anymore. It used to be like 2 or 3 or something, and now it's just infinite, I think. Oh, he's got a finisher. Nice. I didn't see what the odds of that were, but nice. Anyway, how are you doing today, Mr. Evan? Having an alright day? But yeah, if this goes quickly enough, like, I think he just needs to be down to critical. So if we got 2 instant turns in a row and then got a couple good crits, then we'd be on to something, I think. And hello again, Mr. Cow. Alright, stagger's not going to be good, and of course 25% hit, and of course like a 10% parry. This guy is RNGesus. He's good, no complaints. Well, any day without complaints is a good day for customer service. Alright, so they're awake, that sucks. I think if we could be 1 tile away from the wall, that might be a little bit more effective. Especially since Fusilier guy is blocking off absolutely everything back there. We could completely ruin them. Yeah, they don't really have too much healing that can make it down here right now, funnily enough. Alright, so here's what I'm thinking. We make this guy sleep. We drag him back here a little bit. Maybe over here, because they can't exactly path through stuff, thankfully. The AI is pretty dumb about that. There we go. Yeah, weirdly enough, I was messing with the chat box there to see if putting it above everything looked any better. Not necessarily. You know what? Let's move it up slightly. There we go. That looks slightly better. I don't want it to get cut off, but the rest of the pictures are just kind of sitting where they are. Man. Their Fusilier guy. Oh my god. No frickin' way. Oh, dude. Okay, so they've completely isolated their leader. Oh my god, they threw their range they threw their ranged units into a frickin' box. They completely isolated their leader right next to me here. So, okay. So now we just run to the corner of the map and just try to make it work, I guess. So the AI will actually never attack barricades, they just don't have a function for it. So let's see what happens here. The only ones that could possibly influence the fight are going to be the clerics, and who knows what they're up to. Parry? Aw. That would have been a nice parry. I don't know if this guy's immune to poison. He might be. I think his sword comes with poison immunity. So I don't think we're going to be able to rely on that for anything extra, because it's like an extra 30 damage a trickle or something. They probably didn't like Martum as kind of a jerk. Oh yeah. Look at that grin. Yeah, sneak attack and still water. Parry and overpower. I mean, yeah, he can get right past my parry. That's... oof. He's got corrosion, that's a problem. Okay, so what about his gear? Because he doesn't have the Nephrit yet, because he's at a low level. Well, it's actually kind of a bad thing, because if we come back here at a higher level, then he actually will have the Nephrit, which will mean that he doesn't have a shield anymore, but then he's kind of immune to poison, so... Okay. Wow. Alright, we're gonna need to slap some debuffs on this guy. Oh my god, really, dude? That guy's a straight-up traitor! This is awesome! There was a very small chance, like we're talking like maybe 5-10%, that somebody would be able to figure out how to path their way up there and sneak through. Doesn't matter, he just blocked them off too. Now the thing is, I need to make something like 30 mend leaves win this fight. Although then again, I think he isn't immune to fear. Tell me, sir, can you be scared? Wait, which one is it? Heartbreaker's Vendetta? No, he can't be hit by fear. Ah. Yeah, that only scales up to 142, so that's not going to be great. Can get 140 off of this, though. That's not terrible. Hang on. I'm going to give it one quick second, because it's probably chopping on your end right now. The OBS decided to be a bit of a butt. There we go. Should be better now. Alright. What I need, we're going to take one mend leaf. And roll for that parry. That's chopping. Yeah, that was the, that was OBS being weird. So hopefully it's better now. Yeah, sometimes I can tell, sometimes I can't. Yeah, all of his knights are completely out of Guardian range for us there. Yeah, one thing I need to test is what debuffs he can or can't be hit by. Because I don't think he's got death proof, does he? At least I don't recall Martim having death proof. One of them actually, in vanilla, one of them had, like at one point, they had almost nothing in terms of their immunity late in the game. But then if you ran into them earlier, they did actually have death proof with them. It's, yeah. Please miss. Jeez. Yeah, this guy is rough even by himself, but now we know that this corner is super abusable. So we can probably take a heavy fighter down here. Maybe Charmed? No. Can he be hit by MP reset? Doesn't matter. Frightened? No. Howling Rage? No. Double hit? No. Blazing Grasp? No. So basically nothing affects... So he has built-in death proof or something? I mean, that's usually not how it works. Yeah, there's nothing that should be giving him death proof, so I guess he's just somehow locked in for it. That's odd. Let's get a High Priestess going, get rid of all these debuffs. So he doesn't have another finisher. I mean, I'm still going to try to make this one work. It's not looking super likely. Then again, I don't know if any other class could possibly even get back here, because this one was crazy fast. I mean, that one move was like something like a 14-tile run. Alright, good parry. Okay, he can be hit by poison, so what the hell? I'm so confused right now. Alright, so this is not going to be my move. I just want to know if he can be hit by this. Because I can reset it. Okay, no, he can't be hit by that. It's so weird. And then, I mean, he's poisoned, so Tourniquet wouldn't work anyway. That is really, really strange. Alright, so his closest healer is way back there. Actually, wait a minute, is there some RNG on... No, there's two of them. Okay. And they're busy buffing themselves with bravery because, you know, they need to be ready to stand up to the death of their leader. oh man, it was so tragic. This pile of lumber just fell, making a perfect barricade halfway across the map. It's wild how that happens. And then one of the guys just tried to save him with those phalanxes, but they just kept getting in the way, giving him less and less tiles to move. It's truly tragic. Okay, good. Just acid rain. I was gonna say, how many frickin' creeping dooms do you have in you, man? Don't I have a TP reset? Because actually, come to think of it, Ninja can work here, I just need to change the build a little bit. I can do 140 with that. And whenever he gets a finisher, I should just set up a decoy. Alright, Aaliyah won't do anything, Fire Snake won't really do anything. Alright, how much does decoy take? 5? Okay, so even if we do this right now, we'll still be able to pull this off. Because they didn't bother trying to heal him. Alright, Twin Fang is a quick finisher. It also looks like we'll still have time to heal after that. Because just that slight difference in speed is not to be underestimated there. They're just recovering MP and buffing themselves. Beautiful. No one gives a crap about Martin. I love how the first word going into this is, wow, this is completely impossible. There's no possible way this could ever work. Alright, what else can we do here? Because he's probably recovered another 20. Yeah. So we'll just kind of alternate this. I mean, I've only got 2 decoys, so I can't use it that often. Maybe a Fortify. Because almost certainly won't die to the next thing. And always want to wind up facing him so that he runs and tries to take an attack from the side. Because if he does that, then he's going to stay close. Otherwise, if we try to turn away from him, he'll attack and run, and that just won't be good. Yeah, he's going for the mend leaves. That sucks. Alright, do we have time to roll the dice on an attack, though? Okay, did anybody else hear that? There's like a whoosh sound. What the hell is that? I mean, if he decided to use corrosion, I'd be screwed. Why am I not using corrosion? Wait a minute. Dragoons can use corrosion? What the crap am I doing with this? I should be using Dragoons right now. What the hell? When did they get this? Since when do they have AoE moves? Okay. Good to know. Wait. That's not like... It's just a stand-in for another class or some crap, is it? No, it's definitely for Dragoons, so... Weird. Weird. Alright, there we go. It's probably not worth rolling for poison. Probably is worth giving him some debuffs, though. Probably give him a breach, take a strengthen, all that kind of business. Oh, by the way, another quick question. Can anybody see how, or hear how the sound's doing? Oh, for God's sake, another one of these a-holes. Get out of here, spam bot. Freaking spam bots. And yet another spam bot. Sweet Jesus. I'm most curious if somebody's actually sending them as a joke. Oh, I was gonna say, how's the sound doing? You know what else I just noticed? This also... Oh man, if I set this up and came in here with the flying boots, it would be possible to just skip around the entire map isolating everybody. And spam mode is active everywhere right now. Yeah, them suckers are annoying. I mean, this is about as niche as it gets. I'll never understand what on earth they're doing here. I mean, even for the effort, even the effort for them to set up and find this channel is probably not worth it for the nothing they're gonna get. So I'm curious, after he's breached, does this do anything? No. That does a ton, though. Holy crap. Okay, that's... no, I don't think I want to do that, though. Not without setting up a decoy first. Alright. So we set up decoy. Alright, so set up decoy. Do that whole thing, and then he'll probably do his finisher immediately afterwards. Decoy eats the finisher, we do a couple more slashes. If any of those 4 attacks crits, then we're onto something. And yeah, I'm despite the fact that it takes an extra skill slot, I'm still very happy with the Claw and Dagger setup. It's basically the same damage as Claw and Claw, but it's so much faster. Like, it's weird that despite being an only 1 weight difference, that it's creating this much of a difference. Because double daggers doesn't come with any chance of poison, and it also doesn't come with any extra evasion. This gives that nice little evasion edge, gives that nice little speed edge. I again, no clue why on earth that 1 weight makes such a big difference, but it's just nice having options to all the finishers, all the everything here. There's the Creeping Doom. Man, oh man. This is actually looking pretty promising. Question is, how's that scaled up finisher looking? Alright. So how does Omni Strike look first? Gets him pretty low, but not ideal. Blazing is 1-4, that's 168. It's 158. Do we have anything that might do better? I mean, Twin Fangs is going to be about the best we want to do, really. Plus, it's probably relatively quick. Doesn't give him any additional finishers, so he'll probably cast next round. And then at that point, we can just double attack him, and that would be the end. That's kind of insane. I mean, yes, we'll have to come back for Lindell and the other crafting book. I have absolutely no interest in using Fusils right now, or Gunblades. We'll come back to that as we need to, but at the moment, they're so dang slow that I don't really see any particular merit in going down that route. Like, guns are hands down, pound for pound, the slowest dang thing in the game. Oh my god, we... that actually frickin' worked. That actually worked. Wow. Oh my friggin' goodness. That's amazing. That is just amazing. Alright, cool. So that's 1 step closer to unlocking the temples then. Nice. Alright. So now we go to the Warren report. Yes, I know. Save. Save, 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 save. Fortress is under siege! As suddenly taking over that place... Actually, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Because suddenly he's going around harassing all the sea people and whatever else, and suddenly they just come in and find forts everywhere after his invasion. Maybe that's actually what happened. I'm not sure, but I'd like to think it is. Yeah, this build has been shockingly effective, I gotta say. It's weirdly versatile. Okay. So these fights should be easy. And yes, I mean, we were right here, so we really might as well. I don't think these guys have any healers aside from the one witch up there that might have something on her. This, funnily enough, is one of the few maps where you'll actually run into traps. It's amazing. Who'd have thunk it? They exist. Now, question is... yeah, they're still original builds. They still come with traps. Booby traps, even. Alright. Cragfall. And then you've got the one healer back here. Yeah, it's just the one healing familiar. Who we can actually just go and hunt down right now, and since there's only one with that skill set, what we're gonna do... actually, can I use Escalade by any chance? No, I don't have any grappling hooks. Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pick up a Strengthen, and probably just go wild on this, because the range units should have almost no accuracy. Almost all of them are set up for armor builds, so I'd hope we'd be able to outspeed them like crazy. So my goal here is basically run up, take out units one by one, run away, and let poison eat them away. And with any luck, that'll create an opening to go take out the leader at some point, and then we just take that swipe and call it good. Dragons are probably the scariest thing here. Everything... well, I guess the TKs aren't great either, since I really only have one decoy. Actually, wait, I'm completely out of decoys, aren't I? I'm not sure. But still. You suck. Fairies, you suck. Actually, just all healing units. They're just the bane of my everything. I almost wish that healing units didn't have access to stuff like that. Didn't have access to Dispel. There was like a Rune Fencer only thing. Because, dude, they love to spam it so much. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, I suppose. It's one of their few actual offensive abilities. But, just in terms of a I wish they didn't do that type situation. They do it all the time. Okay, there's one hit, that's not great. Still haven't really done anything effective here. Here's hoping we can at least get a little hit and run on that fairy. Unfortunately, Strengthen's gone, so blah. Nope. Turn, please. Anytime now. Anytime now. Alright, still gotta wait 4 more rounds for a turn. Bang it. Alright, there's one with poison. If I can just take him out, it'd be worth it, but it's a total dice roll. What we can do, however, is this. There's a wild hunt back here. And see if by any chance we can one-shot this fairy. Otherwise, this attempt might be a little screwed. Yeah, that one would have had to crit, and we would have had to get 2 poison ticks for it to die. I mean, there's still a chance, don't get me wrong. She did just immediately take 2 turns, so she's probably pretty far back in the turn order. We've got very good odds against any physical units. So as long as that fairy's gone, we win the fight. I mean, they've got finishers, sure, but as long as that thing's dead, we're good. I think I'll slap it together with band-aids. Yeah, one thing you tend to forget when doing a solo is just how much faster this is than most other stuff in the genre. But sometimes it doesn't feel that way when they're going and taking 80 turns in a row and you're just sitting there like, well, I'd like to move. My incredibly frail unit is in the middle of 80 dudes getting shanked to death. I'd like a turn now, please. In fact, it'd be great if they just sat still and didn't move. This could still work. And they actually can step on their own traps, so that's also something else to bear in mind. The casters on the right are going to be threatening. So basically all Warlocks at this point do come with Draconics, and yeah, them suckers are... Okay, it's not as bad here. We're not getting into full-blown Mega Murder territory yet. But eventually it'll get to be a problem. As they start consistently throwing out 150s and so. Almost my turn. Nice. Hit something. Every poison is potentially a misdirected heal or a wasted turn. Unfortunate. I think any hope of this one being a success just died with that hit. But let's see what we got here. So 9. Yeah, it's going to take a lot to make that one happen. Unless... Can we, by any chance, make a friend here somewhere? Whose turn is coming up? Yours? Alright. Let's see if this works. Because Mesmerize is going to do the same damage one way or another. I need you asleep. Just one of the casters gone. They've probably got the best odds to hit us, so we put them to sleep. And then from there, out of curiosity, how much does this do? Barely anything. Cool. Alright. So now do I know that? Go ahead and Mesmerize this one. Get them on low health. They're definitely going to be the one that ends up getting healed, but they also should be running around on an absolute rampage. Fantastic. I don't think that'll be enough to win. I probably would have needed a couple crits in there, would have needed that return attack to miss. Well, I might keep him off my back for a second, because I don't actually have time to afford to heal. Yeah, that 25% clinched it for sure. Okay. New plan for that one. I feel like that one is... You know what? That one's done well. But it's time for the Warlock to get back into business. Because we can go back to ninjas anytime. Okay. So, first order of business. Go ahead and set up swords. Or do I want to do whips for this one? Because I kind of want to do whips for this one. No, just do what you need to do first. Have fun later. Okay. Do we want to fill out two? No. We need to be able to just recover, and that's it. So instead of the other stuff, we're going to have Dark. Instead of Fists, we're going to need Counter. Which I think we already have some version of Counter sitting around. Now we're going to need our two skills here. The free health and free recovery. Sorry if I'm a little bit silent for a second, trying to remember everything that we need to make this build work. Alright, what else do we need? Don't need resonance. We kind of need TP a little bit. But not really. That's a maybe on the TP. Our counter. We have clarity and efficiency wouldn't be bad. Because clarity keeps the infinite shield thing going, but I have a feeling that we can actually survive this one pretty well without needing it every round, so we probably don't need that yet. Maybe run... No, Distill Power isn't even going to be helpful. It's absolutely useless right now. Spellbooks, I think. As dumb as that seems, bear with me, because there's something that I wanted to try earlier and didn't get a chance. Because what I want to do is see what happens if we just run a spellbook build. So I'm going to get a free use of Meditate. So we get our Brigandine, except we want that to be... I guess it's still going to be a Brigandine. These can be Flight Boots instead. It's lower damage threshold, though. That's fine. Or is it? It probably isn't. Yeah, let's do Scales instead. Okay, I think that's everything that we need to make this work. It's like I said, my goal is to try to make this thing 100% self-sustaining and 100% able to deal with just about every scenario that there is. So, let's do this thing. So, a couple uses of Meditate should give us all the MP that we could possibly need. We don't have to be wasting any items on it. Yes, it's one of the cheapest items in the game. I don't need your judgment right now. Alright, what is this one's name? Jamelia. Okay. I suppose if I went for a flight build, though, I could just immediately start running down the center here. Maybe take some of the stairs. An idea for another time. Alright, so evasion should be high enough, at least in the rain. We don't have to worry about getting hit by too much. I know there's at least one dragon with throwing rocks, and I have to say I'm hoping that throwing rocks get nerfed a little bit, because I can't help but notice that quite a lot of NPC dragons and beasts and whatever else are exclusively showing up with rocks now, and it's a little bit annoying. I mean, granted, it does to some degree make them more effective units. It's just a little bit irritating to see all these giant dragons lumbering around everywhere throwing rocks exclusively, just rolling for 25% all the time, because that's what made vanilla golems a pain in the neck. So yeah, it's the same concept with like 3 times the range. Now, will this be enough to just outfight these guys? Because the whole point of this build is you just distill life over and over and do what damage you need to do. And then as soon as your regeneration starts getting overwhelmed, that's when you start going in with the other stuff. So not amazing damage. I actually really would have expected a lot more than that. I forgot Og Light, that's why. Because it should be doing like 210. Maybe we'll get rid of Dark Magic then. One quick moment here. Okay, all good. So, looking at the situation here, I don't think this spellbook idea is going to work. I mean, especially having a skill slot for it seems a little bit meh. I suppose the question here is if there's anything I can actually... Can I one-shot anything with this right now? I mean, not really. I'd almost say best bet is actually just to go in and do a mass sleep or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. we're going to back out real quick and fix those skills. So for one thing, shield for the extra damage threshold. For another thing, we're going to need some different skills, and then for the last thing, I will remember to not do that in the future. I guess there's still technically some stuff that we could make use of with that, but there we go. So we'll put that there. Potentially just go flight boots just because they're, well, it's a lot more worthwhile with that setup. I'll remember to put on the other thing. What was the other thing? Augment light. We need Aug light, and then we need Aug water somewhere. Are we going to use dark? I feel like we're not going to use dark as much. It's definitely got the most options, but either way. So yeah, for now we're temporarily throwing away any charm options and going for this. As good as charm is, it's just one of those things that tends to be a single-use thing, so unless, you know, there's a decent chance they're going to go finish somebody off, it's usually not too great. One of the bits that actually got cut out of a couple parts ago was a case where a octopus got charmed, immediately attacked a cleric, and then immediately followed it up with a second one killing him. Somehow managed to double turn a cleric, no clue how. Actually, I think it was like Tabula Rasa or something that made them take a really long turn. Who knows? Probably Rakes knows. I don't think he watches these anymore. He's probably sick of me asking for stupid stuff. Okay, so, first order of business. We're gonna try to take the upper route here. We're gonna fly, we're gonna get out of dispel range, and go here. Part of the idea is that they're gonna put down traps everywhere and hopefully run into their own traps. Because what I'd like to do is to take one of these rampart areas and then just fight them one-on-one. I'm thinking, if all goes well, we should be able to take out a few before the healing arrives and then deal with the healing. I'll probably just turtle up and go straight to the healing unit. I just figure this way we get more damage out before anything happens. Alright, take your turns any day now. If we take some of these upper areas, then we potentially don't have to deal with those dragons ever. Because it actually doesn't look like they can even get up here. Yeah, that's looking better. That's looking way better. Alright, wants to come up and have some then. Okay. It's just gonna be like that then. They're gonna hit their 40% and... what was that? I always have to check what the parry odds were. Okay, so they rolled 40% and 15%. Cool. Good to know. If I can get a couple of Envenoms off, I think we'll be pretty well golden here. Moves I want to do. Any day now. Okay, apparently the dragons can get up here. That is quite substantially lame. How many of you are out here? Okay, so now we do Remedy. And this is what I bring Remedy along for, because we get ourselves in a situation where, yes, we're somewhat trapped, Get her. Go ahead and fly on out of there. And then we turtle. Honk. And apparently I left my phone in the other room. There's some messages coming in, so just a sec here. You know, I could legitimately just sit here and repeatedly put an ad break on for every time there's an enemy turn, and there really wouldn't be much missed. That would be so obnoxious. Okay. Okay, let's see what's next. I don't really need to distill remedy as much as just recover. So this is the main value of the strategy. As soon as you get damaged, you just go into recovery mode. Except I don't have the thing to make that worthwhile. Crap. Alright, well, everyone takes a nap then. So that guy, he can't take a nap. Like, really, speed is the main issue with this one. So what do we do? How do we crack this particular nut? I mean, I could go longbows, or maybe siege bows, but I don't feel like that would even work. Maybe just basic soldiers or something? Let's kind of evade everything and go with two-handers or some such. Go for double attack two-hander. Could work. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Evasion build two-hander. Could go for corrosion with the Dragoon now that we know that that's an option. Let's give that a go. I mean, that still had a very small chance of having some success, but I don't really see it happening. Let's go to the next one. I mean, we know that that level's going to be in its 20s one way or another. Maybe we go knight and then just block off every... You know what? Yeah, we'll just go knight, block off everybody but the leader. And, just poke the guy. Where's my spears? I guess it doesn't really make sense to go spears, does it? Could go axes. Mostly because I don't really have good options to scale up a lot of those. So for axes, we're going to go Og Light, I think. right? Because it's just the Varangian that we have. The Varangian. Requirement not met. Okay, so apparently lightning it is. Right, and it also doubles as scaling up driving cut, so fantastic. Okay, this can probably become... can become rally. I mean, removing fear isn't bad. We know it's going to be a problem in this one. And Rampart 4, Stop Ward. We're also going to need counter 3. Ooh, do we have access to count? No. No. Okay, so attack 2 is fine. Oglight can get out of here. What else can we put in here? Yeah, Field Alka 1 we're definitely gonna need, because that's our only healing option. Gonna need Phalanx. What's potentially movable? I guess Tactician, kind of. Although it would help a hell of a lot here. Right. Now here's the question. Because since we're already putting this one aside, this means that we can completely stack Vigor. Which means we can become beefy as crap here. So, okay, go to Mask Armor, go Heavy Shield. Yeah, and Greaves. So this is like absolute meat man over here. We'll see how this one works. I still don't think this is going to be enough to completely deal with the amount of damage that we've got coming in. But theoretically, we've got options for almost everything. Rally should be able to shrug off Stun and Fear, which we'll run into regularly. None of the stop skills seem to be... Well, I mean, we're not going to be able to be hit by them anyway. But oh well. We'll see. This could work. It might backfire terribly. Just another day in this run, that's for sure. I mean, considering how dumb that previous one was, I don't see why this one can't work. At this point, we've got cheap phalanxes, so we can more or less just put the dragons in a box. We don't have to deal with that crap. Just do the usual movement trap setup. Get the Arion plume going. So what I'd like to do, if we can, take a few steps forward, lock that TK on the Rampart forever so he can never leave. Then we just plain don't have to deal with him. We should be able... Come on, please, please, please let me outspeed that TK. Because we're mega slow right now. We just brought in all of the bulk. Well, we've got the crowd control options to match it. Javelin to the face does less than... What is that? Like, no damage. Boulder to the face does 7. The actual fall did more than getting hit by the boulder. Funnily enough, this actually ends up helping. Please stay up there. I don't want to deal with your nonsense. That's fine, kind of. Come on, give me my turn. Alright. Sweet Jeebus, that damage, though. Okay. I mean, we've got no evasion anyway, so whatever. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, that means this guy can never move. Yeah, he's got jump 2. This is... No, he can still get out of there. Wait, is this... Sorry, I can't tell if it's muted or not. Well, at least I couldn't tell for a second there. I had to check because the... I had to go yell at the dog for a second because he thinks he's being sneaky. Thinks his gigantic paws don't make a sound in the kitchen. All you hear in the background is just tip, 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 tip. Now, what do you mean? How'd you find me? I was being so quiet. So the ultimate build, if we eventually get there, is going to be a Lord with Axe. Oh, right, he's got Shadow Break. Well, that sucks, but you know what? It's okay. We can make this work. Definitely make this work, and in fact, here, let's go ahead and rally out of that. I'm sorry, that was an option. When the hell did it add Strengthen before? How did I miss that? Holy crap, that is... Okay, you know what? Knight is my new favorite class. They've got everything I would ever need in a class. That's it. True Chad build right here. It's like maximum S+ rank. Nothing can top this. Because, okay, the main problem that I had with the Knight for the longest time is the fact that they had no frickin' offense, and now we're looking at a place where he's literally throwing out hundreds of damage without even taking a turn. And the fact that he can stun or he can strengthen on an action move while getting rid of debuffs. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Please don't nerf it, Rakes. Please don't nerf it. This is such an oddly specific scenario. It scares me every time now. Something's just gonna get nerfed and suddenly won't be able to rely on it anymore. Alright, come on. Throw your damage over here. Or get hit, whatever. Beautiful. I want to buy followers, too bad I don't have any. Well, fine. Fine, you just get our hopes up like that then. Oh, son of a dick, we got petrified. So much for that then. Now we're just gonna die. That would have been a win right there. Because I guarantee you we could probably do 400 with that completely maxed out finisher right now. This is the one time that I wish that I actually still had fast forward on this thing. Oh, that's super disappointing. Come on. Yeah, that's a really bad coin flip that we got there. This is a great build, though. I love this. And now that we know that it's a possibility, that opens up some more options. Seriously, the meat on this dude. Even when there's a 100% chance to hit, there's a good chance that it still won't hit. And even if it does hit, there's a pretty good chance it won't do any damage. This is awesome. Petrify is our only weakness. So, my eventual goal, like I was saying earlier, is to get access to a lot of those items that give you these debuffs, or give you these debuff protections, so you don't have to worry about that kind of crap. Because even with everything there, that was still a 50%. That was far from a guaranteed petrify. So, I'm completely okay with going in with the exact same build. Oh, that sheer unmitigated meat. Beautiful. See, because... so, I should point out, it almost makes sense to go for Petrify instead of this. In a lot of cases, anyway. Because the only one that's legitimately debilitating is going to be Stop. Well, in most cases. Mostly I'm thinking about for the Warlock build eventually. Like, for the final build, so to speak. Because, yeah... Unless, like, as long as you get a turn, there's a few moves that'll just get you out of it completely. And specifically, while they don't have Remedy, the Lord does get access to Tabula Rasa, which is basically the same thing but cheaper. So they still would be able to do that. They don't have any action turn recovery, or well, they don't have any action move recoveries. I don't think. I believe they can get Evade or something like that, which honestly just as good. So probably could alternate between using Spike Skin to get around, and then using something like Evade to potentially block any additional damage on the flip side to be able to heal. Like use a Spike Skin, get into position, then take a heal plus an Evade, and then get into your actual final position. and then maybe go from there. Something like that. Any dang ways, I think what I want to do is probably set up an evasion item here. Because really the thing that screwed us was getting thrown off to the side by that boulder, which we're going to be pretty good at avoiding a lot of damage right now anyway. So bad luck aside, do I have any dodge items? There we go. Justice. Anyway, what have you been up to, Mr. Cow? How's the new location working out for you? Which, by the way, remiss of me not to ask earlier. You guys have a good Christmas? / related holiday? I don't know how many folks are doing like Festivus or Jewish or something, but you know, any of y'all that had a related holiday, how'd it go? Got the stun. That sucks. I feel like trading in all that other stuff for the sheer meat of this build is worth it, though. I mean, we're going to get that luck back, we're going to get all of the debuff immunities back and whatever else once we get the Fire Crest. And yeah, we are getting the Fire Crest because it's literally the only way that we're going to be able to pull off this run. Right. Okay. It's fine, we're going to sit here for a second, build up some TPs. Nothing was good, kept it small. How was yours? Well, we kept it relatively smallish. We've been doing our usual, you know, pocket of random relatives thing, where every individual pocket was reporting healthy, so, you know, just met one by one. Nobody had any conditions going on, so seemed to be good. Got to hang out with my daughter's friend's family there. All played some games, mostly a lot of board games with different family members for the most part. Played a hell of a lot of Unstable Unicorns. I don't know if any of y'all play that game by any chance. It's pretty fun. But for anyone unfamiliar, and actually come to think of it, if anybody's up for Tabletop Simulator at some point, I should probably consider showing it off there as well. General idea is it's kind of like a... Oh, dude, I am sick of these guys getting their knockback procs the second that they need me off that dang cliff. Because I just need to be where that rogue is standing and everything's perfect. They can't move me from there. That's irritating. Anyway, so yeah, as far as that game goes, it's essentially if you've ever played something like Magic the Gathering, except if it was... Well, if you didn't have to worry about resource costs for anything. Like, you only have 4 types of cards, everyone just goes round-robin around the table and just kind of takes their turn and moves on. So you get, you know, your magic abilities that basically will just target somebody or do something. You get your unit cards that you put down. In this case, instead of units, they're unicorns. Har har. You get your objects, which are usually stuff like putting cannons on your stable of unicorns or something like that. And then the last ones are... Wait, what are the last ones? There's some other ones. They do something or other. I can't remember what they do right now. Anywho, so yeah, everyone just kind of gets a turn, does whatever's in their hand, you know, as far as they're allowed to. And usually it involves coming up with, like, weird strategies that allow you to win, because pretty much everybody at the table, like, as far as we've seen, it's usually 4 people is a perfect number to play that game. But, like, for example, ended up winning both games yesterday, but had the situation where... Okay, I should back up here. The whole point of the game is to essentially put down 7 of these unicorn cards, which everybody's always trying to kill. Some of them have different abilities, some of them cause different stuff to happen when you put them down. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on. So, it was something along the lines of I kept getting denied, so... If at any point somebody doesn't like a card that you're putting down, you have 2 different cards that somebody can play, which are called Nay and Super Nay, which despite the fact that it's been made several times, nobody found the joke of somebody neighing a neigh to be called watching them neigh. Nobody found that joke funny. I mean, I thought it was kind of clever, but oh well. So yeah, it's essentially this thing where everyone's always trying to kill off each other's units before they can get up to 7. And you're always trying to counter each other's different plays there. So I kept getting denied over and over. So I ended up eventually getting one that says that you can't be denied. Ooh. Okay. Just kind of completely lost control of my character for a while here. Hopefully they'll eventually be able to be playable again. We'll see. Anywho, what the hell was I getting at? Oh yeah, so it was this whole scenario where A, they weren't allowed to be denied by anything. Also, nobody could target them because there is a downgrade card, which for some reason people... Like, I don't know why so far of the 4 times I've tried it in a game, people have just laughed at the idea. But there's one where technically, none of your units can be targeted by anything, nor can you win the game. That there's just a downgrade that you can put on yourself that says you no longer have unicorns, they are now pandas. So basically that means anytime that somebody is forced to, say, get rid of one of their cards, or somebody is targeted by one, none of that applies to you anymore, because technically speaking, you gave up your right to win the game in order to have that card. However, you can technically get rid of that card while making yourself immune for most of the game. Personally, I consider that to be completely broken. For some reason, everyone else I play with considers it stupid, but whatever. So, in this particular case, yeah, it was just more or less immune to everything all game. And, let's see, I think at the end of it, it was something along the lines of nobody could technically deny anything. I was getting the option to go nuke somebody else's units every round. At some point, somebody, let's see, how was it? I forget exactly how this went, but somebody had basically given me a card that allowed me to trade, forcibly trade with somebody else, which allowed me to have an item that allowed me to get rid of one of my cards upon placing it down, and had gone and combined that with another one that allowed for putting down a card while also forcing everybody at the table to get rid of specifically a unicorn card, which I didn't have because they're technically pandas. It's stupid technicalities like that make the game so dang fun. It's like, hey, everybody in the entire game is pissed, but, you know, technicalities, so who cares? I probably did an absolutely atrocious job explaining what the game actually is, but it's really fun. Just take my word for it. It's a great game. Alright, so let's do this. Phalanx right there. Hopefully trap some of those units in, because I do not want to deal with their nonsense. We're going to take a couple rounds to heal. We're going to take this Berserker guy, and we're going to drag him up this dang castle thing. Because we've got Rampart Aura 4, I think, they should be trapped here for a couple rounds at least. So we can slow the hell out of their movement and hopefully nail absolutely everyone. Unfortunately, I can't help but notice that, yeah, our accuracy is beyond garbage. So that's something to work on. Yeah, maybe Petrify Ward is a bit better than Stop Ward here. Getting real sick of dying to Petrify. I don't know about the situation. Yeah, I want to say one of the endgame spears comes with a Petrify immunity as well. Just there's so many things to look into in these crafting books. We just need to get to them. In order to get to them, we need to get to the temples. And in order to get to the temples, we've got to get through this garbage. Yeah, there's really not much else that I can optimize about this guy. Out of curiosity. Yeah, that's why he's got so much evasion. So it seems to be consistently spawning in as a rain map. So potentially get rid of the rain right away. Right, right. Yeah, I feel that build is doing its job. It's just that dang petrify. All right, we'll get rid of stop ward. We'll put in petrify ward and see how quickly we regret this. Probably keep strengthen. I mean, it's a really high cost move, but okay. Now that everybody's thoroughly pissed off from being given another ad break, you're welcome, Mr. Cow. Well, a quick question for you. So, as far as this whole run goes, like with these fights in particular, they're not terribly exciting. I was just kind of wondering, would you guys prefer if I just found a way to do the fort fights off screen? Because it's going to be probably a couple days until another one of these. I mean, would you prefer if I just did the fort fights and then we moved on to the temples, or are we just keeping on as is and I'll just kind of test them out and figure out what works and then just do them live? If anyone feels like chiming in on that one. Because I don't know how sick folks are of like seeing the same fight over and over and over and all that kind of thing. Like this one, I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll get this one pretty quick. We've already met the setup once. So I'm thinking just some variations on this setup should do the trick in most cases. Like, probably Leon, the Fusilier guy in the south is going to be the most annoying. But, you know, there's answers to all this. In fact, I'm thinking... thinking it would be real nice to stop getting knocked off of here. Almost wondering if going... Wait a frickin' second. Wait. How have we not used power armor for a while? It just occurred to me. That just literally has not been a thing for ages. Let's go see what we can potentially make there. Because I don't know if I need armor craft for that or not. And just shields in here. What about armor craft? Where even is armor craft these days? I don't know. Out of curiosity, let's go try Bode. I'm thinking the answer for most of these is going to be relatively simple, because we've got our bulky armor and everything, got a really high damage threshold. This one only gives 4 vit, so if we just replace that with some, you know, flying boots and that kind of thing, replace that with the Azure necklace, gives us some better accuracy, just kind of rounds out the build a bit better there. You ever have so many cups of coffee in a day that you just sort of develop a stutter? Jeez. I always remember this one being pretty easy, because it's just a bandit guy. And I hide there on a rogue. Dude's name is Doge. I guess it's Wolf or whatever, but screw it. I'm gonna call him Doge. And the funny part is, he is faster than the rest of his team, and like an absolute dipstick, he just runs ahead and dies. So, winning strategy, of course. Now, another benefit of potentially going down from Greaves to Flatty Boots is, well, we're still getting damage to our threshold while also reducing our weight by 5. So that's beyond significant. Granted, still using a heavy shield, so we're not getting a parry bonus. I mean, maybe we'll scale it down as time permits. I'm thinking all we really need to do for this one is just strengthen. We just strengthen, eventually use rally if we end up getting dispelled out of this. Lobos probably runs down, takes his nice happy hit there. Takes a couple swings, he probably takes an attack, misses, well, more than likely gets parried or misses. Gets countered, then we immediately attack back, and, you know, bing bang boom, done. Maybe we should have set up with a flight first. I mean, we're basically owning dragons here. It's just kind of embarrassing for them, really. Now, this one's usually one of the easiest. Of course, saying that, I will now probably proceed to demonstrate how you can die real fast. Potentially. Okay, that is 2 units in the way. That's pretty annoying. Please stop sending more people. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, his evasion is amazing. I'll give him that. Yeah, if he gets a counter, gets a breach, that's when we go for the finish. So that was kind of the 1-2 that worked for this. So we're going to pop this over there so he can't escape. Or at least would have a very hard time escaping. Oh, you brilliant bastard. Thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, he's just going to keep taking attacks, and then we can phalanx him in again. That should be this one done and dusted. I'm gonna have to suggest to Rakes. I have a feeling one potential good upgrade would be for tower shields to give you steadfast now. Hang on. Oh, 1 sec. Alright, sorry for the crackle of the microphone. I couldn't use the quiet option to mute it there. I have to say, I absolutely find it hilarious how toddlers think sometimes. So okay, my my daughter goes and they just got up from their nap a little bit ago, right? So she goes and she brings over her water cup. She wants a little bit more water. It's like, hey, Dad, can I have more water? Because I need more water because I don't want my ball wet. And she just holds up this little plastic ball. Like, why on earth are those two things relevant in any way? I love it. Absolutely love it. Alright, so most of what these guys are doing is just going to plink off. Really, all we need here is just one solid hit on Dude Guy. So, he's going to attack us one of these times. We're going to get a counter off. As soon as that 25% hits, we can just follow up with a finisher. Even about halfway charged up, it's almost guaranteed to be a kill. The problem is right now we need to start getting some crazy scaling going. But yeah, for a light unit, it's going to be a lot easier to set up a kill here, especially when he's this aggressive. I don't know why they set so many leader units on this map to be aggressive. It's a very strange call, actually. And in fact, wait a minute, what the hell are you using? Nurgle, okay. Is there any use for... Is there any use for this? I can't think of any possible use for this, but screw it, he might drop his heavy Lorica, which I'd love. Alright, is there any reasonable way? Let's see here. There's going to be safer ways to pick up a Lorica. For now, what I need to do is trap this guy. I mean, I don't think he's escaping anywhere, but still. And I think it's about like 500 or whatever per each of these seeds, so we can definitely invest a few thousand per each of these to get them done. Yes! Okay, that's the one, that's the one. Come on, come on, come on, give me my turn. Come on, get that nonsense out of here. Don't want to hear your dialogue. I want to hear the sound of this dude going splat. More than likely, what we're actually going to want to do, though, is set up a accurate hit and set up a, probably use another rally. Actually, we didn't use rally in the first place, did we? Ah, screw it. We're going to want to use a rally. Yeah, but this timing is going to have to line up very particularly. Come on, give me my turn, dang it. I know we just took our turn when it happened. It's just irritating when stuff like this happens. And they're like, hi, welcome to our 80,000 turns in a row. Hope you like getting slapped around for an hour. Still strength and everything else. Do we roll the dice on that? See, because he's going to immediately attack us, and please roll two 25% in a row somehow. Oh, wow. That hit. Please roll two 25% in a row somehow. Please, 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 please. Ah, dang it. Worth a shot. Although, we're really managing the rest of the team well enough that it's probably worth just taking them out one by one using that same method. Because, sure, they've got a lot of recovery going on, but you know what they don't have? The ability to bring somebody back to life. Dead is dead. I'm thinking what we do, we drop a phalanx, we activate wing boots, and we fly towards that top there. Almost all of them will be locked down here. If we survive the next round, beautiful. Provided we ever get a turn, that is. But anyway, so, is anyone still here chat-wise, though? To take a vote on that whole, like, do these off-screen, or just, you know, just wait and do them in the next one thing? Another thing to potentially consider is they will eventually run out of healing items. And that's part of the reason that he's able to recover so quick. That's going to probably be better until you hit a winner. Alright, fair enough. Because yeah, general strategy, just kind of going down the list, right? A lot of them are going to be like this, but it's usually just going to be a bum rush the leader. The one on the top right is going to be the most difficult, more than likely. But if we do the same thing of setting up a phalanx trap and then just kind of sit at the edge of it, axing stuff over and over, eventually that's going to come through. I mean, it almost went through with the ninja there. So that's going to be the strategy here. The strategy here is... or there. The strategy here is going to be, well, exactly like it is here. Just trap the guy down here and don't get knocked back into a corner like we did here. Got very close. I'm almost thinking instead of flight boots, it actually is worth going in here with the gauntlets. Because that actually would have boosted damage far enough to be able to finish him off. So, you know, there's that. So if we just nail the timing on that, then we're absolutely solid. So, going down the list, this one's the one with the 3 cockatrices. They suck for recovery, though, so we can just bum rush the leader. This one... which one is this one? I believe that's the one with the Valkyrie up top. They're fairly isolated as well, so you can kind of just use the flight boots to cheese that one. That's kind of the reason that I went and picked up the flight boots, because a lot of these can be cheesed with that. Lizanne is the healer from early on in the game. Once again, you can just fly up there and ice them. I mean, they're the healer, so it's kind of a 2-for-1 there. And then, lastly, Galed is... What the hell's Galed? Oh, whatever. Let's go take a peek, Galed, and see what it does. I want to say that's the one with the Swordmaster on there. The healer from the Gatalia fight? No. The one from the, what's it? Josephine. The one from the, Sluis kind of thing. Right, so definitely want to go with Zor, and I'm thinking, like, maybe even Scaled, because you get better luck. Should possibly just swap this out for Brigandine, just go full evasion set here, maybe. It's still not amazing evasion, but whatever. It's a little bit faster. I just want to see what this one is. Because I think this one's the Swordmaster guy. Is it? No, that's the Lich. Yeah, this is another one that you can actually cheese with flight boots. Yeah, eventually I'd like to pick up whatever the thing is. I don't know why I keep going into that situation here. I know that's got to be pretty annoying. Sorry about that. Is he storming Winnie Castle in OB64? They use stone walls? Well, you gotta be able to fly, man. Actually, that's probably one of the few disappointing things about OB64, that you can't use your flying units to, Wait, you can't use your flying squads to skip over the walls in that one, can you? I don't think you can. Because I think they're just kind of treated as a static object on the map. You're supposed to get past the gates. Maybe you can, I'm not sure. You can send flyers over? Oh, okay, then I'm just a moron. Ignore me. With those Sheen the Scout. Makes sense, makes sense. I kind of wish there was a warrant entry for that one Sphinx that just kind of hangs out in the castle forest. Just ready to one-shot you whenever you're not paying attention and just staring out a window like a moron. I will forever be salty about that. Yeah, this Lich guy's team's a little bit weird, because he's mostly got melee units, and they mostly run forward, and then you can just run past them. Afraid of that thing? Yeah. With good reason. Yeah, some of these fights are interesting, some of these fights are bizarre. Actually, it's a little bit funny how you can kind of see the graphics freaking out when the rock is thrown. And I wonder if that's maybe part of the reason that the AI doesn't get the option to throw rocks in the vanilla game. And another guy with a Nurgle. What a douche. Although this one has no recovery options. That's just douchey. That is quite douchey. Wait a minute. I had the option to rally, didn't I? Whatever, screw it. Throw out any phalanx there. Prevent anybody from moving. Deal with this guy. But yeah. I don't know, I feel like Sphinxes and OB64 are just on par for some of those terrifying units in every game that you just never want to ever see. Like the friggin' Malbros in FF10, or any FF game for that matter. Well, except for Tactics. They sucked in Tactics, I don't know why. Or, like, for example, the, well, those weird blue jumpy guys in the early Armored Core games were just out of nowhere. It was just this tiny unit that was somehow overpowering a much, much larger one. I would have preferred that to miss, but I will. Can I have my turn yet? Almost. I think this flight's gonna last just not quite long enough. Okay. My health needs to last just a little bit more here. We're only halfway down. It's not as bad as it looks. We just need to get close to Mr. Casterman. Risk anything here, so we're just going to throw out a phalanx. Keep everybody trapped down there. We only have to deal with casters up here. They've got no movement left to speak of. It might have seemed strange why I was making such a big deal out of these weird slippers early on. This kind of crap is why. It's one of the reasons that they keep them so dang hidden, that there's only one place you can actually get a hold of a flying item before Palace of the Dead. And I'm pretty sure you won't even find it in a guide. So, Mr. R1C47, I know who you are. Anyway, no, yeah, it does actually work. We occasionally use multiplayer for weird tournaments and things like that. Oh, by the way, before I forget, and hopefully the kiddos don't start yelling stuff next to my ear in just a second here, but as far as tournaments go, somebody brought up an interesting thing the other day. Well, I was actually watching a completely unrelated video on old school RuneScape and things like that. So many things for this actually get potentially inspired by that. But there was an idea. Kiddos still say hi. But so the interesting thing that got brought up was the fact that they're... Oh, they are having a thing over... Oh, just 1 second. Okay, that was a tad loud. I think we have the Great Egg War of the end of 2020 figured out. Anyway, oh yeah, so what I was saying was, yeah, somebody pointed out that effectively multiplayer had been perfected. And it was perfected by CSGO. And frankly, the best way to have balanced fights for the tournament and whatever else. Oh my goodness, they just know. Alright, any dang ways. Oh wait, we've had the heavy Lorica this whole dang time? Man, I'm a dumbus sometimes. Actually, I think the only thing we don't have is the next power armor, which I think is actually the stinky armor. I don't know. It's possible. I don't know. Any dang ways. So yeah, we're just gonna leave it there for the time being. So basically that's gonna be the plan. This build seems to work just fine. The Damask armor seems to do a fantastic job of keeping damage threshold up. Wing boots for flying around, Damask shield for keeping evasion up, and then basically going to do the same thing for all of them and just kind of roll the dice until we eventually get past Gecko there. So all we need to do is take out every fortress. Most of them work that same way, like I said, since almost none of them actually have effective recovery options. They've got something, it's just not amazing. So, like, these guys, to be fair, they only have one fairy. If I get close and deal with that thing, they don't have anything left anymore. With these guys, they've just got the one really evasive guy that keeps running forward. Eventually, we'll deal with him. In fact, it might even be worth going swords against that guy, because, Because, yeah, if we just go for something like Advent Sign or whatever else, or actually, no, just probably... do I just do Bad Blood, maybe? I don't know. Either way, going Swords would be the very accurate option to go deal with that guy. Dealing with the Fusilier here, I might even go slightly lighter on the equip load to be able to pull that off. Anyway, I think that more or less covers it, so I'll do the rest of them off-screen, and then, yeah, we can actually get to the interesting meat of this whole run next time. So thank you guys for stopping by. I know a little bit slightly later than usual, but yeah, I want